name is Kaylina and I'm the Hex Witch, and welcome back to my channel. So I just kind of have a vlog for you today, and I actually just got back from the Gem and Crystal KC show, and that was really fun. I took my mother-in-law and we went and just wandered around the fair and had lots of vendors. It was actually quite impressive. It was an Independence at a hotel, and so came back with a few different items that I just wanted to share with you because I had a good time. We met tons of nice people, seriously, just very nice, wholesome people that we got to talk with and just kind of mingle, and so it was fun. So let me show you what I got. So I got this little pendant, which has the triple goddess on it, which I've been wanting to find one of these for a while, but they're always just kind of on the more pricey side for whatever reason, but this one was actually not too bad. And then I have a thing for snakes. Don't ask me why, but I do. Well, actually, I know why. I have a spirit animal that is a snake, and he protects me. So I found him and thought he was really cool looking. So, and he was just kind of cute too. So I got that. And then there's this lady who made all these super cool, like, glow-in-the-dark things with resin. And so she made, like, lamps, and she made these cool dragons, and this little guy does glow-in-the-dark. And I was just really drawn to him because he is pretty cool and pretty detailed and so sparkly, and he turns kind of like a purple color when he's like glow in the dark. So he was pretty cool. Usually I don't go for the resin stuff, but hers was just really cool. And I used to have like this little dragon that I got when we were in Branson that sat in this little egg thing, and then he broke. So this is kind of to replace that dragon. I don't usually have a ton of dragon stuff, but I was pretty drawn to him. And then this other lady has a Soap Nautica, and this is lotion, and oh my gosh, her stuff smells like heaven. Like, this one's a peachy one, but Peachy Pixie, which, I mean, the names alone were adorable. The colors are so bright and fun, and they smell absolutely amazing. And they were actually pretty reasonably priced. So, and honestly, I can say everything there was pretty reasonably priced. So it was really fun. It was fun to walk around and just spend some time with my mother-in-law and just see all the gem stuff. I think she was honestly very surprised with just how wholesome and down to earth everybody was there, which I knew they would be, because us metaphysical, spiritual, hippy dippies, I mean, we just are, us witchy folk, you know. And so it was just kind of cool to share kind of part of my world with her, and for her to be able to kind of see that on a different level, because I don't think everybody always understands kind of where I'm coming from with that kind of stuff, but she got to see a side. Oh, and then I also got some tea from a lady that I think her business is called Nature Made Me, and she is lovely. She's just a very lovely human being, and she makes all these really awesome products, all very organic. She grows her herbs and stuff herself. I mean, they always smell very lovely. She's got creams, she got sprays, she's got teas for different things. So I've gotten one of her creams before, this delightful rose smelling one, and but this time around I got one of her teas that are supposed to help with like acid reflux and digestion and gut health, which I could always use because I have gut issues, but that's a conversation for another time. But yeah, it was really fun. And tomorrow there is a macabre market that is like the halfway point to Halloween, and so they're having a market kind of in the Crossroads area, so I'm probably gonna go and check that out, and maybe we'll actually remember to film some of it, because I didn't do that today at all, and I even brought my camera with me and still forgot. So Yeah, but otherwise, that's kind of the update for now. I will probably see you tomorrow for the macabre market. Bye.
I just wanted to give you a couple updates as far as a couple kind of exciting things in the works. The first thing I want to talk about is I have finally gotten approved to be in the KC Metaphysical and Paranormal show in Overland Park in August. So, and more details to follow for that as far as dates. I think it's like the 23rd through the 25th, but don't quote me on that. So I am very excited to be partaking in that. It will be my first run of being in a metaphysical fair. So if you come visit me, please be nice, because I am a fresh brand newbie at this, and it's exciting, but I'm also a little bit nervous about it just because I don't know how much product to bring. I don't know the logistics of all this because it's all so brand new, but I am working endlessly on some product that I will obviously bring to the fair. You'll see that in the video here in a minute. Definitely doing some jewelry making as well as voodoo dolls, some designs that I've designed, and yeah, potentially some other stuff as well. So more updates on that, especially if you follow me on Instagram, which please do follow me on Instagram if you want to see some of my other content, and definitely some more of, like, I always post the designs that I'm working on and stuff like that. So feel free to do that if you would like. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited, and it's keeping me kind of motivated because obviously I've got to make lots of products so that I can be ready to go. And then I'm also working on an online website as well, so that once I do kind of get up and running, you know, I can have business cards with my online shop if people are interested in that as well. So lots of things I'm working on right now, lots of things I'm excited about. The other thing that I'm pretty excited about, but not getting too excited yet because there are some logistical issues that we, you know, have to work through first. But me and my husband have thoroughly talked about potentially selling the house and getting a big, nice RV and going around the United States and traveling and living in certain cities for X number of months and having some freedom. And this has kind of come up because, well, partly I blame Matthew McConaughey and his chat, and I say blame, but I don't blame because I actually really appreciate him saying this. But we have talked about doing this for a little while, and we just haven't pushed the button because we're always like, we've got 4 pets to consider, you know. We currently live with our mother-in-law. But we've gotten to the point where mental health has become a real issue in the picture. And I'm not sitting here saying that we have a bad life. We absolutely do not. We are very blessed. I'm very lucky to be in the position where I'm at, but especially for him right now, I think we both just know we want more, and more in the sense of more life, more living life, more exploring, more freedom, so to speak, more adventure. And I think we've gotten to the point where we're really like, it needs to happen now, and it needs to not happen years down the road, you know. And it's so easy to say, well, we can't do it now because of X, Y, and Z, but realistically and logistically, we could 100% do it. And so TJ was so funny, he actually took me yesterday to an RV store, and we walked around and saw a bunch of them, and there are definitely a few possibilities that would 100% work out really great for us, especially with having 2 ferrets, because the thing is, like, I love my ferrets, and honestly, if I wasn't allergic to them, I wouldn't mind if they just wandered around, you know? Like, I don't think it would be a big deal as long as we were careful with opening doors and stuff so that they didn't get out. But there are some RVs that are set up really nicely where there's 2 bedrooms, so you can have the ferrets in the one and it closes off so that the dander and stuff isn't getting into the main part. And then there's another bedroom at the other end, and then the kitchen and kind of living room space is in the middle. And guys, I have to admit, I have to apologize, not because any of you know this, but when my husband first mentioned the idea of getting an RV and pretty much living the glamping lifestyle, I kind of turned my nose up at it. I'm not gonna lie. Which was wrong of me because I made judgments before I even understood what camping and glamping meant. But seeing these RVs, guys, I'm highly impressed. Like, it is not just, you know, this little vehicle. I mean, it's almost like a miniature house in there, like legitimately. So I apologize for making assumptions when I didn't know. That was wrong, and I'm still learning, you know, not to turn my nose up at things with things that I don't fully know. So, and I think that's just some toxic behavior, you know, that I've picked up along the way somehow, but I'm letting that go because, you know, I think some people think they know what's best for other people's lives, and they like to try to say, oh no, you wouldn't enjoy that. You don't want to do that. You're not going to like that. And it's like, respectfully, that is not up for you to decide what I am personally going to like or dislike. You can have your own personal opinions on what you like and dislike, and I am going to respect that 100%. But I'm learning to not take all the advice I always get from everybody who tries to tell me how and when to live my life, because I think this is something that would be really good for us, to be honest. And you know, I'm not trying to sound like nasty or anything. I'm really not, but the fact of the matter is, you know, everybody's life is different. You know, what really works super well for one person is not maybe going to work well for someone else. And so I've learned a lot over the last couple years in finding my own identity, you know, and realizing who I am as a person. And honestly, guys, that has drastically changed from like 3 years ago. And me and my husband were talking about this yesterday because we were kind of just having a deep conversation of where we're at and how we're feeling. And yeah, I've changed enormously, guys. Like, my spiritual journey had really not started at the point when I had met him. And so I've done like a complete 180, like gypsy witchy spiritual like change. And I don't regret it for a minute, because I truly do believe it's made me a much better person, a much more open-minded person, which before, you know, we all have our flaws, and I'm not gonna lie, I definitely had the potential of being a little bit judgier than I should be, and I'm admitting that. But I have learned so much in the last 3 years, and I think it did really take a huge reality check for me, especially with going through all the stuff that I went through 3 years ago. It was just, it got me on this path now, which is just so much better and so much more enlightening. And I feel like I'm learning so much more about just the world and people, and I know this is kind of just a tyrant that I'm going on. Not really tyrant, but just sharing some deeper views, if you don't mind, because I think we all just get to that point in our lives where we just feel like there's something more out there for us. There's something more that's going to fulfill our souls even more. And I'm not saying we're just going to travel the United States and not work, you know. TJ has every intention of getting a remote job, potentially, if we do this. you know, I'm a massage therapist, so I'm so blessed and grateful to the fact that I can pretty much go anywhere in the United States, and there's most likely, fingers crossed, going to be some place that would hire me as a massage therapist, just because there are spas and massage places everywhere, which is fantastic. And I love to see that, you know, more and more and more people are starting to really take their self-care and mental health and their body's natural care seriously. And that's also something else I've got to mention, because I know I've mentioned in other videos that I have not always gone along the best with the healthcare system. And I still stand true by that. But I will say there are some, and I don't know if I've mentioned this in the other videos, but there are cases where medicine is good. The traditional style, modern day medicine, there's a time and place for it. And I will especially say in the mental health realm, yeah, because I've seen what happens when people get off their depression medication or their anxiety medication, and it can be detrimental. Like, so if you are somebody who is on those medications, please know that that's okay. I'm on an anti-anxiety medication. I know people super close to me on antidepressants, so it's whatever helps, honestly. And you know, I still agree, let it get you through the dark spots, and then when you are feeling good, you know, and you start to feel like life is a little more put together, maybe you can slowly wean off of it and try more natural things for like the everyday stuff. But honestly, if you need to be on medication and it helps and you see a difference and it gets you to a more stable position, use it, please. Just, it's okay. Like, and that's definitely an opinion that I've somewhat changed, just because my personal journey has been one of frustration with the just the healthcare profession in general. And I'm still frustrated with it, don't get me wrong. The fact that you can only see doctors for maybe 5 minutes and then they're out, and it's not their fault, you know, it's the way the system's set up. You know, they don't have time to sit there for an hour with every patient. Like, that's just not feasible. But I feel like it needs to change if doctors are wanting people to still trust them, because I think trust has become a big issue. You know, like, you just don't feel cared for. You don't feel like you have a relationship with the doctor that maybe you've even been going to for 5-10 years, you know, just because you see them maybe once a year and you see them for 5 minutes at a time. And then the rest of the time, you can't even get a nurse on the phone. So things just need to change in that area. And I think that would make it a lot easier for people to trust the healthcare system again. And with just the bullshit stuff you hear about the pharmaceuticals, I mean, it's a dangerous line to kind of tiptoe on, you know, like, there's definitely a balance, I would say. But this has gone totally off on some tyrant, and I'm sorry, my nose is just itching all of a sudden really bad. But anyway, yes, so yeah, but mental health is so important, and I don't think it's stressed enough. I think we're doing a lot better at it nowadays. I think it's being addressed more often, and I think people are taking it much more seriously, which I absolutely love to see, because when your mental health is not good, everything else in life is not going to be good. So I think it's just critical that people take care of their mental health. And sometimes I feel like it takes drastic changes, but that's okay, because life is always going to give you struggle, and it's always going to make things difficult when you're not in the right spot. When your puzzle pieces aren't fitting together, it's gonna be uncomfortable, because it's forcing you to go somewhere else. It's forcing you to do something else with your life that, you know, that would be the right path for you. So, and I think life has been uncomfortable lately. It has been. Not so much with me necessarily, but I've seen it with TJ. Life has been uncomfortable. Life is pushing us in a different direction, I feel like. And in order to become closer and to be bonded even stronger, I think this is gonna be a really positive thing for us if we can do it. We're looking at about 17 months though, because I do have a Jeep lease right now, and that is not gonna be up until 17 months from now. If they would be willing to work with me as far as if I go there, because we're gonna need to get a truck for the trailer, because those are the only things that can haul that much weight and have that much horsepower. If they could work with me and we could figure something out, it might be earlier. But I really don't want to pay like the $6,000 to get out of my lease, even though they're the same ones who have left my car without a steering damper working properly for like 5 months now, because apparently the part just isn't in. So that's been a little bit frustrating, because if my car goes over 70, it shakes, like rattles, rattles and rolls. And so that's not great. Yeah, and I called every couple weeks, every month, to see if it's in. They're like, nope, we'll call you. I'm like, I don't believe you, but okay. So yeah, I can, if so help me, if I turn that vehicle in and it still doesn't have that darn steering damper, oh, I'm gonna be frustrated, because, and if they're not willing to work with me, but I can't worry about things that are way far off in the future. So anywho, but yeah, so sorry, that was a little bit longer of a talk than I was intending on doing, but you know, I think you just gotta be real with people, you know, and sometimes it's nice to see the not so glamorous side of people, you know. YouTubers are great at making everything aesthetically pleasing and happy and joyful, but that's not life, you know? That's not life. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you every sad soap opera story that I've got in my life, but to tell you being real of where we've been at, I think is important. And honestly, you know, if we do this, this is gonna be exciting, because I'm going to be able to bring you a lot more adventures as well, and letting you see what the United States has to offer, because there's so many just glorious places that I cannot wait to visit. And our home base will still be in Kansas City, because that's where our family is, and so we'll be able to go back and forth. But that'll be the amazing thing, is that we'll have so much freedom to do what we want. Like, we can go there for 3 months and come back, you know. We'll still be close to family if we need it, you know. We can always drive back whenever. But yeah, I mean, why not now? Why not now? So those are the couple things that I'm really excited to share with you. More info on both as we kind of go along here. But yeah, I think that is all I've got for you today. If you like my stuff, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing. I do weekly videos, so you will see those. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye.